All right, say your name and what you do.
My name is Dan Kitchen, and I am a video game designer.
So what got you into making video games?
My father was always interested in electronics. He was always into antique radios. He built radios when he was in his teens throughout the 30s and then the 40s. And he got all of us interested in electronics early on. And from electronics, we then springboarded from there into our love of toys and games. And eventually, I bought an Apple II computer for Christmas in 1980, learned how to program, taught myself how to do it. And my older brothers were just getting into the field, so we all started, and the rest is history.
Were you like to start with Apple II instead of a different brand?
We started with an Apple II primarily because it was open. The actual case was open, and you actually could create different boards to plug into the system. And we were engineers, so we knew we would want to get to the roots and to the guts of the system. And that seemed to be the perfect system for what we wanted to do at the time. We were designing electronic toys and games, and a lot of them we would prototype on small boards that we would plug into the Apple and then write code to run them. And the open case and the access to the circuit board allowed us to do that type of engineering.
So what got you into Activision?
Interestingly enough, bought our first Activision game, I guess, back in 1980. Which was skiing. And my brother and I were working at a place in Morristown with another chap who ended up writing Hero with us. And he came in one day and said, I bought some Atari games that aren't Atari. And we were like, wow. And we plugged it in, and it was amazing how beautiful the graphics were, how well it played. And we were hooked on Activision games. And at that design company, Gary, my brother, started looking at the Atari 2600 as a possible outlet to make products for. At the time, there was only Atari and Activision. Nobody else was in business to do that. Gary back engineered the Atari, learned how the system worked, and actually wrote his first game, which was Space Jockey. And the company we worked for made a deal with US Games to distribute the game. And at that point, when the game was released, Gary and I moved to his basement to start our own company. And about that time, soon afterward, he got the contract to write Donkey Kong for Coleco. And in the midst of doing that, we went to a Consumer Electronics show in Las Vegas, I think in January of '82, or it may have been June of '81. And we met with Activision, and Gary explained who he was and what we had done, and they were fascinated that Gary was learning the Atari on his own, and they liked the work he had done, and so we got a chance to meet with them, interview, and became part of Activision.